And welcome to a brand new video, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. You already know what the deal is. And we are here for All Out 2020. This is the second occurrence of All Out for AEW Dynamite, and it's a great card indeed. But before we get everything started, I have a special guest with me during these predictions. Yes, you may know him as the world-famous wrestling YouTuber for so many years, the former WWE Shop champion, and so many great things. Yes, and I definitely did not pay him to be on here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introducing, giving his predictions, Mr. Brandon Hodge himself. Take it away, Brandon.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Sock Monkey Mike. My name is Brandon Hodge. If you haven't checked out my YouTube channel before, you should definitely do that. But I've been doing this for a very long time, so I'm sure if you know it or not, you probably have watched one of the videos before because I have like over 1,000 of them or whatever. It's just crazy at this point. But anyway, All Out, it's exciting. I'm excited to predict the video with Sock Monkey Mike, and let's go ahead and do it.
And thank you, Brandon, for being so cool and giving me the opportunity to collab with you. So I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys follow his stuff. Link will be down in the description below. And now for my predictions for AEW All Out. Now, this is a great show. This is such a stacked card, especially for a Saturday. You know, especially on this past episode of Dynamite, you know, there was such great buildup for this particular pay-per-view. So without further ado, let's get into the matches. We're going to start out with the first match, which is going to be the AEW Tag Team Championship match between FTR and Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega, who are the champs. With this one, I'm going to go with FTR. I believe that they are the right candidates to become your new AEW Tag Team Champions. And I think that eventually, I think soon enough, Hangman Adam Page will turn heel, or maybe both will turn heel, who knows. But I think there's going to be some dissension between the former Elite members. So I'm going to say FTR becomes your new tag team champions.
Who do I think is going to win this? I think it's time. I think FTR is going to win the titles here. I'm going with the FTR. I just have a really good feeling. They're on fire right now. They're fresh into AEW. I mean, I know it's been a few months, but still, it feels very fresh in my opinion. They're on fire, and I think it's time to put the tag titles on them.
For the next match, it's going to be the AEW Women's Championship match. It's going to be the defending champion Hikaru Shida versus NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa. Now, Thunder Rosa has been on a roll in AEW. I think that what she has been doing on AEW has been phenomenal, especially representing a NWA championship. We haven't really seen an NWA champion really in All Elite Wrestling. Well, I mean, it wasn't really AEW at the time, and I'm talking about All Out when Cody faced off against Nick Aldis for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. So, different time, different circumstances, but I'm going to go with Thunder Rosa. I think that she would be perfect to become a quote-unquote double champion and maybe possibly an undisputed champion at most. But I'm really excited for this match. I'm really excited to see what they do, but I'm looking at a new champion, and I can't wait to see that match.
So, is she going to lose the title is the question here. Is she going to lose the title? I don't think so. I don't think it's happening. I mean, if titles are changing hands, I guess this is the pay-per-view to do it because this is kind of their WrestleMania. Or maybe it's their SummerSlam. I don't know what we consider this at this point because we have Double or Nothing as well. Maybe that's more of SummerSlam. But in my opinion, I mean, I'm trying to compare it to WWE, which I shouldn't be doing. But in my opinion, I believe All Out is the biggest show of the year. And I would say that it's the equivalent to WrestleMania. But anyway, in my opinion, Hikaru is going to retain the title.
Okay, next we have the Casino Battle Royale. Now, this was interesting because this was kind of, you know, all these random competitors. You have Darby Allin, you have Lance Archer, you have, that new stable of Eddie Kingston, Ray Phoenix, Pentagon Jr. You have, you know, Brian Cage, Team Taz, Ricky Starks. You know, you have the Butcher, the Blade. You have, I'm trying to name everybody at this point. Austin, Billy Gunn. I feel like that's, Best Friends and Chuck Taylor and Trent Santana and Ortiz, who've had a rivalry recently. You have Jake Hager in that conversation as well. And I think I named everybody. I'm hoping I did. And you also have one to-be-determined competitor. So whoever that 21st man is, because it's a 21-man over-the-top battle royal, to determine the next AEW Championship #1 contender. So with this one, I'm going to go with Lance Archer. I think that he is the perfect candidate to really get a championship match. He really hasn't been in the championship picture ever since the TNT Championship match at Double or Nothing this past May. So I'm really excited to see what he does next, and maybe he'll just dominate the match entirely. There's a lot of big, giant competitors in this match. So probably is most likely than not, it's going to be that TBD, because if you guys remember correctly, the casino ladder match that happened at Double or Nothing, that's how Brian Cage had debuted and won the match after being a mystery opponent. So maybe it might be the TBD, but as far as the pick right now, I'm going to go with Lance Archer.
Who's going to get the next shot at the title? So, I mean, there's not a whole lot announced about this yet. It's kind of just a big question mark who's going to be in it or whatever. But out of the people who've already said they're going to participate in it, I guess I'll go with Darby Allin. I just feel like out of the people, that might be the best choice for a direction to go with the storyline. But I mean, there's a big question mark on who's going to be in it, so I can't really accurately predict this match.
Next we have is the first ever Mimosa Mayhem match, and now this is a match that I'm really excited to see as well, and that's between Chris Jericho, the Demo God, versus Orange Cassidy. This is, I believe, their third and final match of this little rivalry. They both have a win apiece, and this is the perfect place to kind of settle that rivalry. Hopefully they both ride into the sunset, and then maybe have separate rivalries on their own. But what they've been doing is absolutely amazing. So with this match, I'm going to say Orange Cassidy gets the win, simply for the fact of the matter because he hasn't really got big match moments, and I feel like that it just makes sense. It's his type of match: orange juice, orange drink, whatever you like to call it in a mimosa. But you know what? I think it fits perfectly with Orange Cassidy getting the win. I was going to say Chris Jericho getting the win, but I feel like that either Brandon said that or I just feel like that, Chris Jericho really needs to put Orange Cassidy over, especially in the pay-per-view field, because he already won in the last match, pay-per-view match that they had. So it only makes sense for Orange Cassidy to win. Maybe we might get another serious rivalry from Orange Cassidy, because when it comes to Orange Cassidy, he really hasn't gotten that really big pay-per-view when he lost against he lost against Pac, and he really hasn't gotten that big fight win, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited to see that match.
I don't really know where to go with this. I mean, their whole debate thing was one of the most interesting pieces of entertaining wrestling kind of a kind of promo kind of deal I've seen in a while, where Orange Cassidy kind of let loose and actually talked for a while. No one actually thought he talked, but it was very interesting, and I gotta say, he did an absolutely phenomenal job. But who am I gonna choose to win here is the question. I think I'm gonna be going with Orange Cassidy. I just feel like they're gonna use this kind of elevate Orange Cassidy to another level. I mean, Orange Cassidy is a very entertaining talent, and he's really proven himself in the past few months, and turned into this giant, legitimate, believable wrestler that really looks like he has a very strong future in the business. But I'm going to go with Orange Cassidy. I believe Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy. It's going to be very entertaining nonetheless. And, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But in my opinion, Orange Cassidy.
Next we have is a pre-show match. Very interesting circumstances here. We have a tooth and nail match between Dr. Britt Baker, who's been kind of injured on the sidelines, but we all know that was kind of kayfabe, versus Big Swole. Now, Big Swole and Dr. Britt Baker have been rivaling for months at this point with promos and driving off into things, and along with Reba, or aka Rebel, and it's been a really interesting rivalry, very fun rivalry. But I feel like that this match, even though it's a pre-show match, I think this might set the tone for who challenges next for the AEW Women's Championship. I think both women are perfect candidates for that, but in terms of this, I'm going to go with Dr. Britt Baker for this win. And the reason is because I think that we haven't really seen her in the ring, and it only makes sense for her to come back strong with a win. So we've seen Big Swole win a couple times before, but I'm going to say Dr. Britt Baker gets the win in this first ever tooth and nail match.
Also, Britt Baker, I do have to say, is the highlight of the women's division in AEW, in my opinion. Britt Baker is just amazing. She is the greatest heel woman I have seen in years, and she just does it wonderfully, and she's a master of her craft. But this is a prediction video, so I do have to choose someone. And it's not really, she is my favorite, but I'm not choosing her because she's my favorite. I'm choosing her. I just feel like in this feud, she's going to get off on top of this. So, in my opinion, Britt Baker is going to win this match.
And speaking about unique circumstances and unique stipulations, next we have is the first ever broken match. That's going to be between broken Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. Now, Sammy and Matt have been rivaling for, I think, ever since the beginning of the year, or even maybe, beginning of this COVID era. And, I think this is a great way to end this rivalry on a good note. And this is going to be an interesting way to see what a broken match is. And so with this said, I'm going to say that Matt Hardy, although I love Sammy Guevara, Sammy, if you're watching this, I really appreciate it. I'm going to say Matt Hardy for the win. I think that it is his match and it is his rules. So, and plus Sammy got the win in the tables match on AEW Dynamite, so it kind of doesn't make sense for him to win in this circumstance. But I do understand that he wants to get that final laugh and that final say. So, but other than that, I'm going to say Matt Hardy for the win. And it's really probably going to change both of their careers and probably step it up a notch. So, I say Matt Hardy.
Okay, so when I was recording, somehow, I guess my camera deleted this part where I was talking about this match. I don't know why, but anyway, we have Matt Hardy taking on Sammy Guevara. This one's going to be very interesting. They've had a very interesting feud, to say the least. And I'm going to go with Matt Hardy. I just think he kind of deserves it, especially after getting hit in the head with a chair. I get it wasn't on purpose, but still, I mean, that really, really sucks. And he definitely deserves to take the win here, just for that alone. But from a storyline perspective, I just think it's going to elevate them both, and it's just going to be better for them both. And the feud's going to probably continue, I would say. But my prediction is Matt Hardy.
And next, we have a very unique tag team match between the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express, which that includes Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Now, this was an interesting match, to say the least, because there was a 6-man tag team match on Dynamite that kind of determined who would face off against each other. So this is going to be an interesting match. In terms of this, I get both teams really don't need the win. Like, I've heard rumors saying, oh, they're going to be the next #1 contenders, but I think that's all false. So in this match, I'm going to say the Young Bucks. I think that Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy Jack Perry are an amazing tag team, but do I think that they really need the win in this one? I mean, it would be great just for a new tag team to get that kind of spotlight, but in this case, I think that the Young Bucks get that win once again. They've been winning a lot on Dynamite and Dark, so it won't be surprising to see them win again.
So who's going to be winning this? I don't know why. I don't really have a reason, but I'm just going to go with Jurassic Express. Like, I like the Young Bucks, and I probably am a bigger fan of the Young Bucks, if we want to be honest about it. I mean, they're nice guys. I actually have these things sitting right here for some reason. I was going through my wrestling stuff, and I found these guys. What kind of, I don't know. Someone sent me these for free. I don't know if they're handmade or what, but they're pretty cool. But anyway, if I have to choose someone, I'm just going to go with Jurassic Express, even though I am a bigger fan of the Young Bucks, but Jurassic Express.
Up next is an 8-man tag team match between the Dark Order, which is going to include Mr. Brody Lee, Stu Grayson, Evil Uno, and Colt Cabana, taking on the very unique tag team of Matt Cardona, who just recently, in the past month, debuted on AEW, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares. And this is this was kind of a very unique circumstance because, we really didn't see, this coming, or at least I didn't see this coming. So, with this said, I'm going to say that the team of Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares get the win. Just for the simple fact, because I believe that this is going to push Matt Cardona to challenge for the TNT Championship and kind of rival with Mr. Brody Lee for the TNT Championship. So I'm going to say Team Babyface for this one.
Also deleted this clip for some reason. I have no idea. But anyway, guys, my prediction for this one is actually, I'm going to agree with Sock Monkey Mike here. I'm going to choose Team Babyface. I just think it makes more sense. So, yeah, Team Babyface.
And now, finally, we're going to do the main event. So, main event is going to be, I'm hoping, it's going to be Jon Moxley defending his AEW World Championship against MJF. Now, this is a very intense main event because we really don't know where this is going to go. Is Jon Moxley going to retain and keep the title reign going? Or are we going to have a new champion, and probably, if I may say so myself, the first ever AEW champion, meaning that this is not a former WWE talent. So in this one, I'm going to say MJF becomes the brand new AEW champion. I think that some tactics with Wardlow and maybe his staff goes along with this. And maybe there's going to be some, or maybe he hits the paradigm shift himself and shock everybody, but I believe that MJF is a great candidate to become your new AEW World Champion.
So MJF is completely on fire. I want him to win the title. I want that title on him immediately. He is the future of this business. He's the greatest thing this business has seen in absolute years. And there's one problem though. We have Jon Moxley. I don't want the title off Mox. I really don't want it off Moxley. But at the same time, MJF deserves it. He needs the title. He needs it. Just imagine how much he can run his mouth if he's the freaking champion. But who's going to win here is the question. I mean, it could go either way in my opinion. I would be happy with either result. But I think it's time for wrestling to change. I think it's time for the salt of the earth to be our champion. So, in my opinion, MJF is going to be the brand new AEW World Champion after All Out. So that is my prediction for that.
So once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to Brandon Hodge for being a part of this predictions video for AEW's All Out.
Hey, Sock Monkey Mike, thank you for having me. It was an absolute pleasure to stand here and do the predictions with you. And I'm going to say, you're doing an absolutely phenomenal job here on your channel. Like, you were very comfortable in front of the camera. Your videos are coming out absolutely wonderful, and you're doing a lot better job than when I started. I remember when I first started, I couldn't make a freaking good video to save my entire life. And you're doing a phenomenal job, so I definitely see you're going to skyrocket right to the top of the wrestling community here on YouTube. But yeah, it was an absolute pleasure. But keep up the good work, Sock Monkey Mike, and thank you all for watching my beautiful face and Sock Monkey Mike's beautiful face doing predictions.
And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. You already know what the deal is. Make sure you follow Brandon Hodge. And thank you so much for the opportunity. And I will see you guys in the next video. Boom.